go. Facebook is connected. Let's get on with this. So, another really short flight today. Wow. Gee, I don't know how long this one's going to take. Hopefully not too long. It needed to be a reasonably short flight. Weights. Oh yeah, actually, let's do the weights. Cool. And quickly check the map again. Okay, yeah, so that's, wow, still going to be about an hour. Definitely should be able to take less fuel. Should hopefully help. Flight conditions should all be, yeah, good. Just making sure I haven't messed anything up in the meantime. Let's take 40%. Cool. Hey, everything's online. Welcome to the stream, or to the pre-recorded video if you're watching this on YouTube later, possibly Facebook later. Okay, we should be good. Let's go to fly. What's the? Don't know what the local time is. It's probably pretty dark-ish. Should be sunrise. If it's not sunrise, it should be very soon. It's hard to tell from that map. Like it's obviously very close to sunrise or just after sunrise. But it could also be just before. I think the Terminator line there doesn't necessarily give you a good idea of what the light conditions are like at the place you're going. Oh no, here we go. Ready to fly, that's pretty good. What's the time? Oh yeah, look at that sun should be streaming through the back window. I can get my hand on the controls properly. Right. Do we want the lighting in this game? Oh yeah, it's over there. There we are. Hello. Ah, my joystick is not plugged in. That wouldn't have been a problem because I need the joystick to throttle up anyway. So unplug this. Please don't crash. Don't make any unplug. It's a bit concerning. Coughy, cough, cough, cough. And there we go. Thank you. Yes, default is fine. Use. Is there a sticky something on my cord? That's the sticky things from my actual computer. The feet has fallen off and managed to get wrapped onto my Xbox controller cord. Amazing what happens accidentally that you could recreate deliberately if you tried. Resume. Wind looks pretty good at the moment. 2 knots, yep. Wow, that's 40%, looks like. So close to a third, it's not funny. So 33%. 33.333 recurring percent. It's not all that far off 40. We are at 2,430 feet. The mixture seems fairly decent. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I do feel like I'm forgetting something, but yeah, so it's a wee tiny bit of a tailwind. We're going to be taken off from the other side of the runway. That's right, it's going to make sure my controls are working. There we go. And then off with the handbrake. And away we go. Beautiful. I probably should have announced my takeoff, eh? That would have been good. Let's... head all over this way. Actually, maybe I already did have.
Tower at Denzel 7-6, continue for west
Ah,
departure.
no, there we go. I had clearance. There we go. Let's pretend I didn't forget that that was a thing. Well, that was the thing that had probably been done before and I didn't check. Ah, thanks. Autopilot. I think the autopilot should be keeping the roll, not just flattening out like that. That would be the correct behaviour normally. Apparently not in the sim. Right. We clean things out of it. There. Yeah, there we go. And then with the flight director on, cheers. Don't think I can turn it off at the moment anyway. And I'll probably about there. There we go. Look at that time dropping down, so it's still going to be close to an hour, but.
Denzel 7-6, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Yeah, we've definitely.
Tower at Denzel 7-6, frequency
Looks like it's going to
change.
be more like a 50-minute flight. So those numbers start
Cobble
to
Center
slow
at Denzel
down.
7-6 is type Cessna Skyhawk 5 miles west of Oscar Alpha Delta Yankee.
Still haven't figured out what's going on with my pilot's voice in this.
Denzel 7-6 Cobble Center. Squawk 7-4, flight 3.
Squawk 7-4, flight 3 at Denzel 7-6.
Like I said, I haven't really watched any.
Denzel 7-6 radar contact.
Right down, so
6
about
miles
50-minute
west of
flight.
Oscar
That's
Alpha
pretty good.
Delta Yankee. 3,600 feet.
Yeah, I haven't really. That was a hell of a mouthful, wasn't it?
Copy at Denzel 7-6.
So it's supposed to be something flying nearby. Yeah, haven't really watched any gameplay recently. Well, I have Microsoft Flight Sim, so I'm not too sure because that's definitely a bug. It's either a bug or a very badly implemented feature. So yeah, I don't know if that is normal or if it's just my copy of the game doing that. Hey, we've got a tailwind, that's nice. Which obviously we had a tailwind coming off from the runway. But the fact that it's followed us up to at least this altitude is pretty good. So this will also be our last flight in Afghanistan. So I expected most of the flight in Afghanistan to be in this sort of flattish looking terrain, but most of our flight was through mountains, which was quite nice. Well, when I say through, we went over them. Yes, most of this flight I'm pretty sure will be flattish terrain. And the airport we're heading for the landing strip. It's seems to be a fairly minor. According to the map, it's just a fairly small landing strip. Hey, haven't noticed any RPGs heading my way. But always that kind of stuff always tends to happen just as you think you're clear. But no, it's been interesting. There's been lots of the mountains were amazing. But yeah, it's very like just desert everywhere pretty much. We're flying over some sort of farmland, some irrigated areas, but everything that wasn't irrigated was just brown. I'm also streaming this on Twitch and YouTube as well if you want to watch me on one of those. Yeah, I've not been streaming anywhere near as much as I wanted to, but as I've said probably in the last few streams, I've just been quite run down, so yeah. But, yeah, so just doing little hops at the moment. Where's Belvedere? Random little building. So yeah, that was the other thing. I'm not too sure what if I have a look at FSX map. So Zaranj, I think is the name of the place. Zaranj. And yeah, it's a grass. Well, I say grass, it's probably just gravel. One run rate, grass, 6,606 feet at an altitude of 1,594 feet, so slightly lower than the last runway we took off from. And that is right on the border between Afghanistan. Well, I say right on the border, it's still, probably about 10 miles away. It's very close. Looks like there is a town nearby too. Oh, there's even... somebody had a photo on Google Maps around there. What does that look like? No, I want to see the photo, not click on the... oh, good grief. Click on that. No, does not want to. I see, it's just a tourist attraction, but there's no photos to be had apparently. Right, interesting. If I look at the map, oh, interesting looking terrain. I don't know how well that will be represented in the sim, because I have a feeling that Google Maps has got much better. Yeah, it does. By the looks of it, Google Maps, the terrain is far more detailed, way more detailed. So yeah, yeah, Bing Maps info for this area is pretty bad. Yeah, so it's on the border of Afghanistan and pretty sure Iran. Yes, Iran. So we're heading into Iran next, and then we will head towards Dubai. But I do want to stop off at Kish Island first. You'd pass out like just from yeah, Olmagon just said he'd pass out every time, I'm guessing from the yeah, it's alright, Sticky Rice. Sticky Rice just apologising for being late. Yeah, actually this is only well, I've been flying for maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, about 10 minutes. So, you know, hey man, you're good. I think I've only caught one of your streams, so I definitely don't apologise. I appreciate all the views. And Olmagon before that said he'd pass out every time. I'm guessing that's from the drone of the engine would just send you to sleep. I'll tell you what, when you are feeling tired, which I have been for the past couple of months, it has been quite tough, which again is probably part of the reason that I haven't been streaming, because I just, yeah. Yeah, it's been difficult. It has been difficult. But I should hopefully have a job soon driving buses. And hopefully they'll give me enough money to maybe get a better webcam that I can set up. I've got a webcam, I've got a PSI, and it's not very good. And sometimes when I'm just feeling a bit, especially when I've been feeling tired and a bit grotty, I don't really want my unshaven face. My unshaven, tired-looking face all over Twitch and YouTube. Oh, Sticky Rice, my body clock is... I do basically have to listen to it. It pretty much forces me to listen to it, but it is quite messed up. Yeah. It's... I haven't worked properly in probably about 8 years. But I'm going to give it a bloody good go with these buses. Especially as it is something I'm interested in. I love driving. In most of the jobs I've done a lot of sort of... I was a mechanic, and I've also helped out in sort of engineering type environments where I haven't been necessarily qualified for them, but I've been qualified enough to help out. So fairly, low-end positions, but it was fine at the time. But my favourite parts was always when I had to go get stuff on the road and do the driving side of things. So yeah, a job where I'm just doing that could be pretty good. Rough and rugged, but that's what a man's supposed to look like. Yeah, there's a really fine line between rough and rugged and just... I can't think of the right word. Just seedy and yeah, and unkempt. Yeah, dead inside. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this ground seems to be getting a bit higher, doesn't it? I'd love a readout like a radar altimeter in this between the ground and us that gave us a reading, but unfortunately we don't have one. Yeah, 39, we're making really good time. 39 minutes to go now. Ah, Sticky, thinking of becoming a bus driver as well. It's what country are you located in? I can't remember what accent I heard last time. It was just... There almost seems to be sometimes, I think there's becoming like a general internet accent. It's like people that spend a lot of time on the internet seem to start sounding all the same to me. There's a few, with a few exceptions, but yeah, it's kind of funny that way. Yeah, I don't know, there's certain places I definitely wouldn't necessarily be all that keen on being a bus driver. But New Zealand's pretty good. But you can also do, depending on what the company is as well, like driving coach buses could be pretty cool. Apart from the loading everybody's bags up into the thing wouldn't be a hell of a lot of fun. Short part of the trip, but... Oh, New South Wales, sweet as. Yeah, it's funny, I definitely didn't... I suppose because I've lived in Australia as well, Australian accents don't necessarily stick out all that much to me. But yeah, I swear, people that ever, I think... yeah, there's just so many mannerisms and that people, you can tell, like when somebody's like on chat rooms and stuff, like Discord chat and that quite a bit. Sometimes it's I don't know, a certain way of talking. New South Wales will be pretty good. The winters and that, the winters are going to be interesting here, although we've had pretty mild winters. You still get a bit of ice on the roads at times. Although, by the looks of it, I'll be getting, hopefully, we'll be getting mostly afternoon and evening shifts on the buses where ice isn't generally too much of a problem. It's more of a morning thing. They can load their own bloody bags. Yeah, when it comes to the this, like, if it's like those big coaches that, you know, go, you know, like the sort of Nullarbor coaches and stuff like that, or even just the coaches in New Zealand where you're going between the cities. Yeah, the loading part under the buses, generally you see, like last time I sort of remember seeing bags getting loaded, it was normally the coach driver himself at least directing that and sort of shoving them in and trying to get it all to fit. Which is the other side of the creek, yeah. Man, it's actually amazing how much distance there is between Australia and New Zealand. Kind of I know when I sort of would imagine the sort of Australia and New Zealand, I'd always imagine them a lot closer together than they really are. And then you actually check the distance, it's like, actually, that's quite a long way. It's definitely more than a hop, skip, and a jump. Hill over there. Kind of wish I was still up for the. I should be doing a few like 5-hour streams hopefully soon. God, could you imagine how long that bridge would have to be? Like, the engineering feat would be unbelievable. You'd probably best way to do a bridge across, I would say, would have to be from like going across the islands up near the top, pretty much where I went, when I flew across. So yeah, a bridge basically to Lord Howe Island, and then from Lord Howe Island to Norfolk Island, and then Norfolk Island to the tip of New Zealand, the top tip, the northern tip, but only the tip. But yeah, just with a bridge with truck stops and hotels on it and stuff like that, that would be, God, that would take so much. It would take trillions of dollars to build a bridge like that, I reckon. The maintenance would be insane. And it would, yeah, I mean, imagine the... Actually, let's have a look at Google Maps. Yeah, except the Florida Keys were, like the waters around them are quite shallow, and that's a much shorter distance, and a lot fewer islands between. You know, the Florida Keys is pretty much almost a continuous chain of islands. Where's my chat gone? There it is. If we get Google Maps over here. Yeah, so if you look at Google Maps and you look at New Zealand and Australia, and especially if you get yeah, from all the way up to Lord Howe Island, I don't think they have the depths of the water here, but you can see it's relatively shallow water. It's still pretty bloody deep, but you've got the continental part of New Zealand that's underwater, going pretty much all the way out to Lord Howe Island. Nah, the sand would just get... Even if you could find that much sand, it would just get... Currents would take it away. Sand dredging only works in areas where you don't have huge amounts of sand. But what's the distance So you would have to. So let's say the shallow part between the tip of New Zealand and Lord Howe Island. In fact, looking at that, I think you would. Yeah, you wouldn't bother unless you really wanted to connect up Norfolk Island. You wouldn't bother going to Norfolk Island at all. That would actually make it trickier. So you go all the way out to Lord Howe Island. If you were going to include that island in it at all, there's probably no. There would be a reason, in fact, and you probably wouldn't even. Again, trying to make it easier, you might not even start off with. You might start somewhere closer to Paponga. So yeah, that'd be like, and that's out in the middle of nowhere for New Zealand as well. It'd be hard to find a good spot. I mean, if you were, you'd really want to and you'd really want to bridge to mainland Australia. You wouldn't necessarily want to go to Tasmania. That's almost a bit of a waste of time unless you were there then to also build a bridge from the mainland to Tasmania. And that would be, driving across that bridge could be absolutely hazardous too, with the winds and that howl through the Bass Strait. But yeah, what's the distance? Let's measure the distance just for argument's sake from Lord Howe Island to say Port Macquarie. Where are we? Directions. Measure the distance down the bottom. Distance to there. So that's, why is it in miles? God damn it! It's 200 miles anyway, which is no, it's not 200 miles. That's the mid-range. It's 360. So it's 584 kilometers. Bridge 584 kilometers, and that's in the deep section. Again, I'm not too sure how deep it is. I don't know if there is a. See if I can find. Just checking the ground's not coming up to meet me too much in the flight sim. Let's clear the measurement. And so that was. Hang on. What did I say? It was 600 and do it again. Distance to there. Oh no, sorry, 575 kilometers. Yeah, 575 kilometers. And if we were to say, if we were to do it to Tasmania from shortest point to shortest point that I can find, directions from, no, not directions. Distance there to say there. That's 1,500 kilometers from Tassie to New Zealand from pretty much the closest points, and that's all through deep ocean. You'd have to, possibly the other thing you could do would be like a pontoon bridge. Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of distance between Australia and New Zealand, but can there'd also be concerns in regards to pests and that managing to get across the bridge. So I mean, even though it's a hell of a distance for them to go, you would have to have very strict quarantine controls there. Let's see. Can I find this? No. Yeah, this satellite view. I'm for sure there was a way. Sure, I did it before to get now there's a COVID-19 info for maps. That's interesting. Huh. Wow. Total confirmed cases and deaths. And new cases per 100,000 people over a 7-day average. Wow. Okay. Wow, look at this terrain we're flying over now. Beautiful. Its own sort of barren way. That's pretty cool. That's getting more like what the details like on Google Maps now. If I zoom in, just use New Zealand, zooming. No. Definitely is a setting somewhere to get the terrain, there we go. Hey, here we go. That's got, yep, that's got the heights on the mountains. Let's see if it works for the ocean. No, it doesn't, I don't think. No. No, definitely not. Damn it. That's a real shame. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to find some other... Let's actually Google that up. Yeah, Australia and New Zealand are really, really strict on quarantine, so, I mean, they'd both be on the same page as that. I'm just thinking it would, community kids in the back, are we there yet? Oh, I'll tell you what, this really is like that with the old Cessna. I'm going absolutely flat out now. I've got, yeah, funny you should say that. They kind of do a lot of paintball skirmish in Afghanistan, just not with paintball guns. Let's have a look for ocean depth maps. Open sea map. Hey, yeah. Hopefully this works a bit like Google Maps. Hopefully I can actually read it. I don't think this is... the zoom level? Yep, zoom. I think this might be purely for view water depth. There we go. Yep, very limited. Basically just what's relevant to ships. See, deep sea stuff is not done. It's this ArcGIS. This one might be more relevant. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh wow, it's even got all the different... Oh, this is cool. If you look up arcgis.com, arcgis.com, if you're interested in underwater geography, got all the names of these places. That's really cool. That is really cool. It's like looking almost like an inverted map because all the land is pretty much without, it doesn't have much detail there at all. It's got the major cities named and that's it. All the names, when you zoom in, it's like The Lord Howe Seamount chain, so I think it gives you even the names of what the islands, stuff like the... Wow, that's so cool. Should be showing this on my stream, but it's a low effort day today. Alrighty, Sticky's heading off. Yoga class, nice. Lots of yummy mummies around. Are you looking? Yes. Can't say I'm not a little jealous. You have fun, man. Right. Now, what are those depths? I take it those depths are in meters. Maybe not. No. No. What are those? Are those even depths? They're probably in feet, actually. Content, content, about. Yeah, it's got to be in feet, not meters. If that even is what I'm looking at. Oh, hang on. No, the distance scale at least is in meters. Maybe it is meters, but some of those numbers seem way too big to be meters. But yeah, okay. Well, it probably is. So if that is in meters, the shallower parts, yeah, that probably is in meters. The shallower parts you're looking at like between sort of the mid 200s to almost 800 meters deep. That's the shallower parts. Deeper parts, the deeper parts in the shallow parts get to 3,000, 3,500 meters down, so 3.5 kilometers down. The deeper parts are all around the 5 kilometer mark, which actually isn't as deep as the map made them look. But still, that's, yeah, I guess over 5 kilometers. About 5,300 meters. Yeah. Which, God, yeah, trying to do, I don't think we'd have the technology to do supports that, we probably wouldn't have the support to do, the technology to do 3 kilometer. I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question, actually. Well, the mountains connect because of it. Can be because of, it depends. If it's volcanic activity, you tend to get like island chains, like chains of mountains. But they're not necessarily all connected in that sort of way. Tectonic plate mountains give you much more continuous sort of connected mountains. Basically, like if you got some crumbly pastry and shoved it together, that would give you a mountain range. Or even if you, I suppose, if it wasn't necessarily crumbly pastry, just have normal, would be a lot less. But it kind of, the ground obviously kind of shatters and bends a little bit. But yeah, that's tectonic plates give you those sort of continuous mountain ridges. Whereas if you've got like a moving hot spot, and you tend to get volcanic activity around tectonic plates too, of course, just because of the nature of it. But it's the plate movement that gives you most of your mountains. But places like Hawaii, where you'll notice there's the occasional large island, but then you get lots of smaller islands popping up, and that's because of a hot spot that's been moving over the hundreds of thousands and millions of years. Let's see what our time is saying. We have got just over 15 minutes to go. And if I can not not have my mouse locked in there. Just over 36 miles. Nautical miles, that is. Oh boy. Just gonna quickly check my Facebook messages. Da, 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 da. Let's have a look. Yeah, good on fuel. Probably will be in the yellow by the time we land, but she might not even. Possibly not even. Be close to it though, I reckon. Again, if we weren't going flat out, we were running more efficiently, probably, possibly even barely be under a third by the time we got there. But I'm not interested in efficiency at this point in time, just trying to get this old bird to get there as quickly as possible. So just 7 knot tail speed, oh 8 tailwind, so that's been good. It's been giving us a ground speed of 135 knots. No, we're only doing about 119 knots through the air. That's been much appreciated. That's definitely helped with our time getting across here. Have I finished my coffee? Have I finished my coffee? I probably have. Let's face it. Yeah, it's finished. It's finished. It's gone. I'm going to restrict myself to 1 a day, if at all possible. Probably just, where are we? Where are we? Yeah, we're doing good. Almost there. Might even start seeing signs of civilization shortly. Like when I gathered it was a pretty small town. It's probably going to be hard to see the runway too if it's just a dirt strip. to make me wonder actually how far Brett is on his journey. Have a look. We got. Best to look at playlists. He started playing Valheim. It's a game I've definitely been interested in, but so I need to be. Ooh, what's the window? I'm getting some rocking and rolling going on. Oh, there we go, Grand Caravan Journey. Nope, didn't want to start playing that straight away, thank you. When was that one? Did I buy a couple? That one was on the 4th of March, 4 days ago. Bahrain. International, where's Bahrain? It's Bahrain, that's like in an few hours flight too, which is basically double. You can do double what I can in that time. Bahrain. Is that there? Can't tell because it's got airports all over the names. Can we get rid of the airports, please? Ah, Bahrain. Ah, that's actually a lot less than the time would suggest. Okay. Still, it's going to be a decent amount of flying. So I already need to pull my finger out of my bum and yeah, get a move on. Must be, we are definitely getting close now. We got what? 5 minutes to go. 13 nautical miles.
Oscar Alpha Zulu Juliet, traffic at Denzel 7611 miles east, 3,600 feet inbound to land runway 34.
Grass strip, apparently it's controlled. No, or am I just falling out? There we go. Okay, cool. Well, let's get down, I guess. Get down, get down. Get down, get down. Oh, look, getting some buildings. We're getting some buildings. Might do a bit of a fly over this airport. I probably should, definitely. I definitely should, in fact, look at lowering my altitude. Gonna lower our time to arrive in 2-3 minutes. I really can't see it at the moment, so right, we go to the main town over there, so I'm pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Actually, what have we got? Yeah, so it's somewhere in this vicinity. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's back off the throttle a little bit so we're not redlining. And I'm pretty sure I've got it lined up for the south end of the runway too, so it probably goes up this way a wee bit. Is that it there? That's too far away to be it, but maybe. Yeah, no, actually no. There are only, what, a couple of minutes? Oh, ETA is under a minute, so where is this? It's got to be pretty bloody close. It's a decent sized town, really. Might even be comparable in population to where I live. Got a minute to go. Is that it? That just looked like a road through town. A little bit concerned. Is it really right in the middle of... Is this what we are? You know what? I think it might be. Wow. Wow, that's it. That is actually it. Okay, yeah. This is one of the more unusual. Yeah, 1-0. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Right, let's disengage autopilot. I can't remember what the lakes are, right? I already need to learn that. Let's richen the mixture up a bit as well. There we go. Maybe we can put it to 70. There we go, or 73. Because this doesn't have fine control over the throttle mixture for God knows what reason.
Oscar Alpha Zulu Juliet, traffic at Denzel 762 miles southwest 2,600 feet inbound to land runway 34.
Okay. Doing the thing. Try not to land on just somebody's paddock. Just sit down a wee bit there. That is so weird. Suspicious. Okay, I need to remember that the runway does not follow that line. On here, I keep thinking the runway's facing that. Runway's gone that way. So everything is.
Oscar Alpha Zulu Juliet, traffic at Denzel 76 is on base runway 34.
Am I? Not quite. Oh, Jesus. Not too much. This is the first time it's called out like this automatically for this stuff. Oh, I should also put my bloody flaps down and slow down. I need to slow down. Okay.
Oscar Alpha Zulu Juliet, traffic at Denzel 76 is on final runway 34 to land.
Yes, I am.
500.
I'm kinda hot. I haven't got landing flaps down, I've just got just one notch of flaps. That's okay. And wind's not too bad. That is absolutely, I was going to say, please don't drive in front of me. That is amazing. Oh, oh my goodness. I think that's actually a road. That'll be, yeah, that'll be a road. Right. Let's clear the runway, I guess. Cross over this road. Park near one of these buildings that I will assume. How many times do I have to hit the handbrake to get it off?
Get some fuel from this guy over here.
Oh, that is amazing. Okay, that's clear runway.
Oscar Alpha Zulu Juliet, traffic at Denzel 76 is clear of the runway.
That is bonkers. That is even less even less of a runway than I thought it would be. We go accidentally manually turned it on when I was looking for it. That's funny. I can release and do the parking brake by clicking on the steering wheel.
Because that makes sense.
Right. Does that mean we can also... Yeah, you can, as long as that button's not in the way, you can do the lights through there as well. Huh. Right. Well, for those that have been watching, thank you very much. Hopefully fly again soon. And yeah, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, or follow if you're on Twitch. And yes, I will catch you next time. Bye.